climber, I know that sharing your songs with an industry pro is exciting, and if you get the chance, you're probably going to jump at it. But sometimes, jumping at that chance can be kind of like jumping off a cliff. So today, we're discussing how sharing subpar songs with music industry professionals can damage your songwriting career. We don't want that to happen, so listen up. Johnny, do that thing.
Welcome to the C.L.I.M.B. This is a show dedicated to helping singers, songwriters, and indie artists like you create leverage in the music business. Everything's about leverage. That's why we called it the C.L.I.M.B. When you have leverage, you work. You get people coming out of the woodwork that want to help you. You get doors open, pathways paved. Everything happens. The golden road. Creating leverage in the music business, C.L.I.M.B. That's a backgronym from my good friend and co-host, Mr. Brent Baxter. He's an award-winning hit songwriter with cuts by Alan Jackson, Randy Travis, Lady A, Joe Nichols, and more. He's got number ones in Southern Gospel. He's got top tens in Texas radio. He's got top tens in Australian radio. He's just making miracles happen, and you don't care because what you care about is how do I become a pro songwriter? How can I do that too? And that's why you care about Brent, because he will reveal how you write like a pro. You got to do that first. And then he's going to reveal how you do business like a pro. Because once you get the song written, you got to know how to do business with it. And then the last part is, hey, let me introduce you to some pros and go do some business with them with your professional song. That's the key. You can find Brent very easily at songwritingpro.com.
And I'd like to introduce you to my co-host, Johnny Dwinell. Johnny owns Daredevil Production. They're breaking artists digitally by identifying new fans through data. It's smart, but it's difficult. No, it's difficult, but he's smart. Mm-hmm. There we go. Yes. So if you're an artist looking to increase your streams, blow up your video views, sell more live show tickets, and get discovered by new fans, TV, and music industry pros, then Daredevil Production can help. Daredevil has worked with multi-platinum artists like Colin Ray, Tracy Lawrence, Ty Herndon, and Andy Griggs, just to name a few. You can find Johnny at daredevilproduction.com. That's production, singular, no S. And there is no S because there is no other Johnny D.
What's happening?
Woo, man, just I'm facing some fears.
Yeah.
Of sharing subpar material. And I'm finding out where some landmines are.
I love this title. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. Right?
I've had that on my list of topics for an episode for a while. I just haven't done the work to get the notes together and do it. But It's definitely an important one. And if you're in the business long enough, you're going to be on both sides of this. You're going to be the one sending out some subpar songs, and you're going to be the one, maybe if you're blessed, to receive some. That means people want to send you songs. So I've been on both sides of it, and hopefully you will be too one day.
All right, well, let's get into that right after we take care of some business. We want you to join the C.L.I.M.B. community on Facebook. Go to Facebook groups and search for the C.L.I.M.B. community. Ask to be let in, and we let everybody in. We need to put those questions in there, I think, like you said.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Help. I keep forgetting about that. But we let everybody in as long as you don't look sus, as the kids say these days. You look suspect.
All riz, no sus. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm really having a hard time trying to figure out how AI can take an account and age it, and make it look like it's been around for 15 years or something. I don't know, but they must have some trick there that Facebook's not aware of yet. But anyway, guys, this is singers, songwriters, indie artists, indie musicians, man. It's a great hang, and they're active in there. You can ask questions about your art, marketing, get hookups on co-writes, all this kind of stuff. And you're going to get great answers right there in the feed. And then we celebrate your new music on Mondays. You can put it in there as a comment on the post on Monday. And we celebrate your gigs on Thursdays with Gig Alert. Just put it in your gig down in a comment there. And then on the Wednesdays, man, you come in and put a comment there on your wins. We want to hear what's happened, what's working, what needs to be bragged about right now. Because then we take those and we share them on the podcast. We celebrate them. So what do you got? What do you got today?
That's right. In our new Heights post, so please post it as a comment there so everyone knows where the party is and where to celebrate. Climber David Lawver says, I look forward to performing with songwriter friends this weekend at the Cumberland Music Songwriters Festival in Crossville, Tennessee. Of course, by the time this airs, it's already over, but we assume you had a great time, David. So that's awesome. On the bill with some hit songwriters like Larry Cordell, Will Nance, and Bobby Tomberlin. So getting to share the stage with them a little bit, opening for them. So that's cool.
Will Nance. Hold
yes.
on. Will Nance is going to be a guest on the Climb, too.
That's right. Just booked Will coming up. So I've known Will for a long time. He's a good dude, great writer. So congratulations, David. And Climber Charles Weimer says, woke up this afternoon to find my new music video for the song Don't Ask Me to Dance. Got over 2,500 streams in less than 24 hours on Facebook organically. We're going to add some marketing dollars soon enough, but we wanted to see if what our little fan base could do on day one. So go team. So congrats, David and Charles.
For you, I love that.
Yes, and keep on climbing. And I love that, one's a music related is in I'm going to go play, and one's music related is in, hey, here's what the reach, the organic stuff is doing, and that kind of stuff. So it's all welcome.
And we're coming right behind it with a budget, and we're going to push this out, right? So people liked it and started sharing it and doing that. Then the more people that see it, theoretically, the more people are going to share it, right? So
exactly,
that's good.
All right, so let's get into this. You know how they say you never get a second chance to make a first impression?
That's right. Well,
yeah, that's right. And it's that way with songs and songwriters too. So I'm going to help you avoid making a bad first impression by sharing subpar or mediocre songs with industry pros. So I just want to highlight what some of the dangers are so that you can think twice, be more wise, and not step on those landmines. So the first way that the first danger of sharing, and subpar, I mean, it could be anywhere from bad to mid, mediocre, fine, good, it's okay. Any of those kind of things here, all right, is what we're talking about. Now, if it's like, ooh, really good, I maybe don't have a space for it, but that's really good, man. We're not talking about, we're talking below that, okay? Anything that doesn't make someone's eyes get big and their eyebrows go up and go, ooh, okay. You have my attention. Anything below that. So damage number one is it damages your reputation. So in the music industry, your reputation is one of your most valuable assets. When you share subpar songs, you're essentially presenting yourself as someone who either doesn't recognize what a polished song should sound like, or you don't take the time to refine your craft. So industry pros, so whether they're A&R representatives or producers, or they're your fellow songwriters, we are constantly inundated with material. And if your song doesn't stand out in a good way, if you're lucky, it and you will be forgotten soon. So if you're lucky, they just forget about you and go, he didn't play me a bad song. He didn't play me any song. Who are you talking about? That's best case scenario, right? Worst case, you'll both be remembered for the wrong reasons. Like, it was just fine. It was kind of a waste of my time. So this can lead to professionals questioning your judgment, your skills, and your seriousness about your career, which would harm your reputation long term. So it could be, somebody's like, hey, Johnny, I've known you for a while and I want to play you this song. And, maybe for one of your artists, or I want co-writes with, Mackenzie O'Brien or Brent Michael Wood or one of these cool artists that you're working with. And they play you a song and it is not in the ballpark competitive, right? So now you're like, oh, no, they're not ready, right? And now, even if you knew them like around, like you see them at the freak show or something, you're like, hey, the nice guy. All of a sudden, their reputation suffers because you're like, yeah, nice guy, not ready for the majors as a writer. Right?
I want to hop in here. Like, yes. I think about the first time I came to Nashville, and my buddy John Prestia, who I'd known forever, was like, hey man, when you go up there, he's like, look up this guy, right? And he gives me the phone number of a hit songwriter. And Kim Tribble, right? And he's like, go talk to Kim, man. He's a really good friend of mine. He's from Florida. When he first went to Nashville, he had like, I think 500 songs that he brought. And he said, and I play guitar on like 250 of them. I was like, okay. So I went up and I knew very little about country music. I did not listen to country, right? But I was very interested in the songwriting thing and just the art behind that, being the premier songwriter in my band. And the first time I sat down with Kim, I remember this guy with like multiple number ones, right?
Yeah.
And I'm all nervous, because I'm like, oh God, this is a big time songwriter. And, blah, blah, blah. He's like, hey man, come on in. And I'm like all worried about not taking up too much of his time. I don't want to be, the asshole or whatever.
Right.
And we just started talking about music. And I said, well, like, how many songs do you write a week? And he's like, oh, 12, And I'm like, holy crap. He goes, I don't get excited. Most of them suck,
Yeah.
Because I literally got to write like a month's worth of songs, 12 a week, and to come up with a decent one, right? One that has a little bit of hope. So my point in saying this is that, part of professionalism is taste, right? Like your taste. Like, do you have what do you consider to be good and what do you consider to be great, right?
Yeah.
And knowing the difference between your A songs and your B songs. And so, Kim, I remember being so shocked by that. Like, wow, you write 12 songs a week and most of them suck, like, but he knows, like, and sometimes there's other writers that only maybe write 12 songs a year, but they're going to slave over them and they're all going to be good,
Well,
so,
and by the way, Kim's self-estimation of suck is better than most people's best stuff the day they get off the bus in Nashville.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, 12 songs a friggin' week, that's reps, right? Like, he's got it down so here's my point. It's like your taste, and it has a lot to do with being, honest with yourself, like knowing, I remember another conversation with Brent Boyette where when I started working with him, he was still in LA and he had this amazing relationship with one of the big music libraries. And because he was completely self-contained, he was an engineer, he was a producer, he was a writer. He would get, the library would say, hey, we need a country record, and so he'd be like, oh, okay. And so they would give him like $25,000 to make a country record, which he can mostly do himself. Right. And there's not going to be a lot of money in the back end. It's mostly on the front end, but he's going to put his B songs in there, right? And he knows like what his B songs are and what his A songs are. Yeah. And he's separated somehow the emotion from the event, right? Like maybe this is a song that really means something to you because you wrote it about your papa and they, or whatever. And it has this special place in your heart for that. But nobody else cares if the song is also mediocre, right? And it can be a great song and it can mean something to you, but you have to know like, hey, is this an A song or a B song? And having number one, taste, right? And knowing like what the difference between the two is. And then number two, professionalism requires you to have that work ethic to when you understand what a great song is on what it takes to get there, and I think of like, I'm thinking of Dan, oh my God, I'm brain farting on his name right now. We met him in the artist we met in Denmark, Dan.
Smalley. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he's like, he's so hardcore on his rights and knowing what a great song is and slaving over that until he says it's done. It drives his co-writers crazy because they have good taste too. And they're like, this is great. He's like, not yet. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so that kind of a thing, man, that's like an obsession with the craft to be good. And then,
by the way, I listened to Dan's new record yesterday again, The State of Country Music, just pulled that out yesterday. He and I were texting some. So good.
Stupid good. Yeah.
So good.
It's so good. And so I guess it's, it's like, that's like when you're mentioning like that first impression and, you meet somebody and they're like, this song is great, man. It's awesome. And then you listen to it and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, like you think this is good? Okay. So now I'm going to move you in this pile over here because you don't know the friggin' difference between, you're just
especially, it's one thing if you're like playing it for a coach, getting feedback on it. Like if you're using Songwriting Pro's song feedback service or coaching services, that's a very different thing. This is like you send it to an industry contact and you're like, bro, fire. And they're like, drizzle.
Yeah.
somebody just peed on that fire, I don't know, then you definitely you're like the boy that cried wolf. And like, I'm not believing you a whole lot when you say that.
Fire? You mean like your house burned down and burned all the good songs and you just gave me this?
Yeah, you're like, oh, that explains the smell coming off this. Yeah. I don't want to know what burned, but it was hair. Hair burned. Great.
Yeah.
So it does hurt your reputation because people kind of go, oh, okay, you're in this box over here, putting you in this pile a little bit because you don't really know quite what's up. So that's one thing about it. And it's such a reputation business. The other thing is missed opportunities. You know, every interaction with an industry pro is a potential opportunity, whether for a publishing meeting, a co-writing session, or a placement in a high-profile project. So if you present them with a song that isn't your best work, that isn't awesome, doesn't meet spec, they just might conclude that you're not ready for professional opportunities. So once they've made that judgment, they're less likely to give you another chance, meaning you could miss out on a significant career building opportunities simply because the work you presented wasn't up to par. So example of this might be, so like say Johnny, you know, when you were producing that record for Colin Ray, you were looking for some new songs. Mm-hmm. And so you sent out word to your list, you know, so a lot of people, industry, know, like, and trust people, and maybe some on the fringes of that because it was, I need a lot of songs in because we got to cut this sucker by, you know, very, very soon. Yeah. And so that went out to some people. Now, if somebody that you kind of, you know, you didn't really know that well, but you're like, oh, I'll send them out, you know. And if they send you a song that's just like a clunker,
yeah,
for whatever reason, maybe it's because they're like, I don't really write Colin Ray type songs. He's this big voice balladeer. He's great, but that's not what I do. I'm like a Southern rocker, but I want to send this thing because I want to send something. Or I'm going to do the only ballad song like that I've written, but it sucks. Yeah. But it's the closest thing to I have a Colin Ray. It's like directionally close. It's like, oh, the field goal, it was straight down the middle, but 50 yards too short. You know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't to the right or to the left. It was, right direction, no leg, right? If that person sends that, next time you have an opportunity, they might not be on the list because they sent you a bad song or a song that just was not competitive. You go, oh, okay, maybe they're not ready for this. I don't want to spend my time going through their bad songs again.
Yeah.
So, or whether that was, you know, so that could be just because it was you didn't have one of those, but you wanted to send something. So you sent your best clunker, or that's exactly what you do, but you're just not that good at it yet. Either way, the result is the same. You're less likely to be on the industry pros next, like heads up on this opportunity. So you want to make, it's better to go, thank you so much. I don't have one that I think is killer. Please keep me in mind for the future. Better to do that than just, I'm going to send you a clunker and waste your time having to listen to it.
Yeah. Here's the phrase that when somebody laid this on me, like it hit me like a 2-ton heavy thing right on top of my head. Like every opportunity is not opportune for you. Right. And knowing the difference, right? Like, how do you, like, I mean, this is different than a song, but it's the same idea when I've talked about like how I came to know Michael Wagner, right? Mm-hmm. Who was like somebody I, to this day, continue to worship, and now I get to be friends with him, which is so freaking awesome. But he's big time. If you guys don't know who he is, like rock and roll producer, man, produced the soundtrack of my life, 105 million records sold. And there was multiple times I'd seen him out over the years when at shows, at rock shows or whatever, he would be there. And I knew who he was, and I wanted so much to go up and shake his hand and tell him how much, I love him and all that stuff. But I thought, man, I want to be a professional. I want to be an equal,
Yeah. I want my first impression to be as a peer, not as a fan. Kind of
yes. And
you want to curate that first impression.
Yeah. And so, where am I? Like I'm in a club with looking at a band, which is filled with some industry people, but mostly fans. Right. Yeah. And so there's an opportunity for me to go up, introduce myself and meet him, but it wasn't opportune. Right. Mm-hmm. And I waited until I had a project I could bring him. And then that opportunity was opportune. And now to this day, he's long since retired. and we're still friends. We hang
Yeah.
out a couple times a year and go grab some Mexican food and catch up. I mean, I love the man as a human.
That's awesome.
And wow, I don't think that would have happened had I done it the other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so it's yeah, like make sure you're doing your homework. Like, is this the song? Is this what they're looking for? And is this my best work? You know what I
Yep.
mean? And to throw it in there because you think it's like a numbers game. It's not that though,
They'll lose your number.
Yeah.
It is a numbers game. Get them to want your number, not lose your number.
Exactly.
Which brings us to number 3. Danger of playing subpar songs for music industry pros is it limits future access. So access to industry pros is hard to come by, and it's essential to make the most of these moments. So if you're sharing like mediocre, bad, whatever material, you risk not only damaging that specific interaction in the moment, but also your ability to get your foot in the door in the future. So industry pros, hey, they're busy, and they may be less inclined to invest time in listening to your work again if their first experience was disappointing. So this means that even if your songwriting improves, you might find it more challenging to get professionals to give you that second chance. And so kind of what we were talking about with the last one, Johnny's less likely to, one, let you know. Second, if you send a song in, you're going to probably go to the bottom of the pile because I got burned last time. Let's see if I get time. It's in the if I get time to it stack, right? If I get time to get to it stack. But also the other thing is like cognitive dissonance. Like if people, if they peg you as not ready for prime time kind of thing, no, all right, well, they're not ready for prime time. Either they're nice, but whatever, but no, they're just not ready, and that may never happen for them or whatever because you send them a clunker or two. If stuff starts happening for you, your music improves, well, you're starting off in the hole. Like, because we have confirmation bias. We want to be right about people, even if, I wanted to like your songs, but they're just So now, even if your songs get better, it's going to take a while for that
stink to come off of it.
To come off of you. For me to, because it has to be enough to where I have to admit to myself, maybe I judged you harshly. I was not familiar with your game, right? Yeah. Maybe I judged you too harshly. Maybe there's something, and then you got to get from that to eventually like, wow, you're really good. Huh? Wow. I mean, we probably all know people like that, but you get stuck in that where almost like if other people start talking about this person that we had pegged as one thing, we're almost ticked off by it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like being wrong. And people will sometimes back into, like defend their positions when there's no more factual evidence to back it up. But just the fact that they've had that for a while, they want it to be true. People do that with politics. People do that with music. All that kind of stuff. So
people do that with Gibson versus Fender.
Right.
With Chevy versus Ford. I mean, it's
So people, can be slow to change their opinion. So don't make that an obstacle for them. You want to make sure that the first time you present, you bring your very best work, not just your best work, but work that is competitive and worth their time. So then they start going, okay. If nothing else, neutral, going, all right, this is not a waste of my time. There may be something here. And then they're much more likely to go, oh, yeah, there is something here than if they start going, oh, boy, they got a long way to go. Then if you progress quicker than they thought, they're going to be slow to come around to it. That's just human nature, I think. So it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
It's bad. Or you just think they're, when you think, like in the case of the Colin Ray thing, like, we got all these songs. So here's the artist, which got us a lot of songs, right? That's a big brand name. And everybody's like, oh my God. And he also happens to be like one of the best voices ever, So to have your song cut by him would be an honor, to be certain. And, but, he's got a brand, he's got, just the crap that people sent. And it just pissed us off because the time suck in it. Like, I wasted 1 minute and 30 seconds of my life getting to this. It's not even a subjective choice. It's objectively wrong. Like, come on. What the F, what is this? This rap lyrics to, like what?
So that's true. You got to watch that stuff.
And then what do you think? You think like, okay, so it's another way you're unprofessional. You
Yes.
know, like you're not honoring my time. You're costing me time.
You're either
know?
unaware
Yeah.
or you're uncaring about my time.
Or you don't care. And either way, the
disrespectful.
damage is the same, right?
Either way. Yeah.
To me, yeah.
So danger number 4 in sending music industry pros kind of starting off with subpar songs is it sets low expectations. So once you've shared subpar songs, it can be difficult to shake that first impression that those songs leave. So even if your skills improve, industry pros may still associate you with that lower quality material that you initially presented. This can set a low bar for what they expect from you in the future, making it harder for you to convince them that you're capable of producing high quality work. In essence, you've created an uphill battle for yourself, starting with a lower standard. So it's that cognitive dissonance I talked about earlier. And it's like, it can just take them a while. You know, it's like, okay, if your favorite band comes out with a new song, you're geared to already like it. Because I love everything else they've done. A comic that you think is really funny, they can be halfway through the joke, you're already laughing. Why? Because you just bought in on them. You expect to love it. You expect to laugh.
Right.
A band comes out with a band you hate comes out with a song that if anyone else had cut it, you'd love it. You're looking for reasons to hate it because we like to be right. Our confirmation bias. Or if we have someone pegged as a mediocre writer, we're going to be looking for the flaws. Whereas if Ashley Gorley or Shane McAnally, Laurie McKenna, any of these, a writer Tom Douglas, a writer that you greatly admire and respect, they have a new cut that comes out, you're looking for the great because, it's a Laurie McKenna song. What's going to be awesome about this one? Right?
Yeah.
Versus, it's Jubbity Blow Blow over there just, has a new song come across my desk. Oh, the last one was mid as all get out. Well, okay, let's see what the issues are with this one.
Yeah. That's right.
It gives you just this expectation that you're like, okay, well, where's even if the first verse is like strong, you're like, okay, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
There's
When is it going to start to stink? Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to stick the landing, is he?
Proceed to the sucky part. Like that's got to be coming up, right?
It's about to revert to the mean, right? Yeah. At some point, I bet that bridge falls off a cliff, And so, you're looking for the good stuff from people that have already impressed you, and you're looking for the bad stuff from people that have unimpressed you.
That's right.
Yep. Number 5, it hurts networking. So this is kind of encapsulates it, but the music industry is a tight-knit community where word of mouth and personal recommendations carry significant weight. If an industry professional has a negative experience with your work, they might share that impression with others in your network, and you don't want that to happen. And that can inadvertently spread the negative perception of you and your abilities. This can make it more difficult to build relationships. You need to advance your career, as other professionals may be hesitant to engage with someone who's been associated with subpar work in the past. You got to get your networking game on. And I got a coffee mug in there, the Songwriting Pro coffee mug, available in the songwritingpro.com store, that says, 3 steps to songwriting success. Write great songs, build strong relationships, repeat. Right?
Yeah.
And it's in that order for a reason. So if you have bad songs, it's going to damage those relationships. It makes it that much harder to make strong relationships. And they may talk about it. Or if somebody invites someone into a third, as a third on a right, they may be like, man, I don't know, I've written with him. It just wasn't that great. Or I've heard a couple of his things, dude. And I don't know about that, And actually, like going back to about limiting opportunities, there are opportunities to like pull in a third. Hey, should we get a third? And you start going through then your mental Rolodex. Or, hey, I'm coming to town. Johnny, artist, say Mackenzie comes into town, looking to book co-writes. And now you're like, okay, I'm playing matchmaker a little bit. I got my go-tos and I got my maybes and I got my no's, And if you've heard some songs from somebody and they knock your socks off, you might be like, maybe worth something, put it with an artist or drop them in as a third, see if they sink or swim. If somebody sent you a song that was mediocre, you're like, why does that add value to the room? No, I want someone who's going to add value to that room. So what I've seen from this person so far is they don't add value. So why would I bring them in with my artist? I don't want to waste my artist's time. I don't need to take that chance. There are other options available.
And
so that's another way it limits
when it comes to the craft, right? It's all about the music. It's all about the vibe in the room. And even if somebody else just is kind of like, if they do, I don't know about that person. You know what I mean? Then it's like, you're a definite no now, because I'm not going to sell it. Right. You know, because I already know, like, you're prepared to hate it. So if we're going to write this song together, then that third person's out. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I remember back in college in my fraternity days, after one of our chapter meetings or something, I remember that one of our members came up to me and it was, you know, he was frustrated because he didn't feel like he was being heard in some of the meetings, some of his suggestions, some of his ideas. He's like, basically like, if I bring up this idea, it kind of gets shot down and poo-pooed and no one really takes it seriously. But if somebody else brings up the same idea, everybody's like, oh, that's great. Because of whatever reason, people get certain aura about them, certain reputation, people have certain feeling. And so they don't just judge the song, they judge where it's coming from. They don't just judge the idea of where it's coming. Oh, I expect to have good ideas from this person. I don't expect to have good ideas or good songs from this person. So even if you're throwing out stuff that's usable and workable, you may just go, I don't know. I just don't have as much faith in it, because it is art. It's so subjective. But so it is so important. And this is partly why when we do the Songwriting Pro events, like the Play for Publisher, the Co-Write Pitch event, the Pro Connect events, where I help connect you, curate a list, connect you with music industry pros, whether a hit songwriter, an artist, a publisher, producer, whatever. That's why I curate them. And part of the reason why I do that and only do like the top 10 songs during the event, because I don't want to waste the pros' time, and I want to protect your reputation. If you're either your body of work isn't ready yet, or just that song that you sent in isn't right.
Right. Maybe it's a great song, but it's not appropriate. It's not opportune for this opportunity.
Exactly.
Right?
So whatever it is, like I want my membership to win. I want my community to win. And part of that can be like not putting them in a position to have a bad first impression. And I realize this is all my opinion, right? Because I curate the songs, but that's part of it. Why we just do the 10, because hopefully everybody in there makes a good impression. And generally they do. I mean, I get a lot of comments about, man, this is the best set of songs. I do these events, Brent, and these songs are definitely a cut above, the other stuff. Because a lot of the other stuff is cattle call. Is like you show up, you get to play one. And there's reasons for that, and that's fine. And I'm not hating on those. But sometimes, like, again, if you're lucky, you're just lost in the sea of, it was okay, but I don't really remember anybody. I want to dive in and help create good, positive first impressions and seeds of relationships. That's why we take 8 minutes per song, and we're just picking the best songs so people can start getting some of that positive first impression where they're geared up to go, I want to hear more. There's a good writer there, And so that's so important. And it also just helps me in general to get people back for those events, to give you more shots at doing that, because I don't waste their time. Because your songs don't waste their time in the room, which is all what it comes down to. So if you wonder why I do that, that's part of the reason I do that. It's to protect your reputation. If it's cattle call, I don't lose anything if the songs suck, because I'm like, I didn't curate these. But we're doing the top 10. They expect a certain level of quality. And so far, the community has come through every time, which has been great.
And appropriateness,
And appropriateness, yes. So there's a lot about that. And kind of a natural follow-up question you might be having is like, well, how do you know if your songs are ready or are not ready? Well, guess what? I have notes on that as well. You'll have to stick around 2 weeks, because I plan on talking about that next time. How do you know if your song is ready? So, little teaser for you.
I was thinking that too. I was like, man, that would be a good thing for you to come up with, just some sort of checklist to see if I don't know how you do it. So I'm curious to see what you did here.
So we're going to talk about it. I got the notes. I got it queued up. So next time we record, Johnny, you'll hear about it. But awesome. Hey, in the meantime, though, y'all can make your songs better by downloading my free PDF. It's called 6 Ways to Make Your Songs More Commercial. It's free. You just tell me where to send it. I send it to you. You can get it at the website, songwritingpro.com, or at 6 simpleways.songwritingpro.com. 6 simpleways.songwritingpro.com. It just crystallizes some of the stuff I've learned in over however many years I've been writing songs now, and like 30, which is crazy, and just help you on your journey. So you can get it there, songwritingpro.com.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, that takes us to the end of another Killer Climb episode, y'all. This podcast exists because we want you to win, so keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.
Who ride a Greyhound?